All right, guys. Well, welcome into S.H.E Podcast, where we deliver the sports, the hot takes every week. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Dania. This is where women's voices lead the conversation in sports, from breaking news to hot takes and everything in between. This is where we shine the spotlight on athletes making history, breaking down the biggest headlines in sports, and bring you the hot takes and debates you won't find anywhere else. Sports talk our way.
So let's get right into it. Our first segment is called She News. Now, She News is where we put women at the center of the conversation, from record breaking performances to rising stars and everything in between. Now, this segment highlights the biggest headlines and important stories in women's sports. And we're just giving females the spotlight and the center that they deserve. So, our first story, let's get right into it, is Paige Beckers and her being named the 2025 Rookie of the Year. Now, she averages 19.2 points a game, 5.4 assists, and 3.9 rebounds. Now, she's already making a huge impact in the game already at just her rookie year. Now, Paige is electrified on the court, from her leadership and her skill to her unshakable confidence. Now, she's a clutch player and she puts together the highlight reels and she's crossing people up. This girl literally just embodies everything that a basketball player should be, and with she's so humble in it.
Yeah,
And just being named Rookie of the Year is honestly like
yeah.
insane.
Because that rookie class, I think we thought the class last year was
Mhm.
stacked. I think this class showed that they can hang with the best too. And I think not only for Paige, I don't think she's just lived up to the hype. She redefined what it meant to be a rookie. And I think those coming in after her, the classes, obviously we have 2026 coming in and then so on and so forth. They got some big shoes to fill. Like, I think yeah, she did an amazing job. It seemed like her transition was very seamless, and a lot of people can't say that. So, obviously, for her coming from UConn, she was kind of used to winning. So, obviously, she had a bit of an adjustment from playing for the Dallas Wings, where their season wasn't as successful as they would have liked. But I think for her, she took a lot of that winning mentality into Dallas, and I think for the future, their future there is bright. So, I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm so excited.
Actually insane. And honestly, I just love how women right now are just honestly just revamping the sport.
Yeah,
The sport in itself was always, male centered and male dominated, but this class and these
yeah,
women here are really just giving the spotlight to them and them just showing, younger women that, this is something that
yeah.
you can do.
I agree.
And I think that that's amazing. So shout out to Paige. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, go Paige. So excited for her. All right, we are heading into our breaking news segment. This is going to keep you up to speed on the latest across the sports world, from game-changing trades and injuries to surprise wins and viral moments. If it's shaking up the headlines, we got it covered. So we're going to start here with our Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson, has suffered a hamstring injury that occurred during the Kansas City Chiefs this past weekend, which could potentially keep him off the field for multiple games. Now, they're saying that Jackson is likely to miss Sunday's game against the Texans and could miss about 2 or 3 weeks, according to the Baltimore Sun.
Mhm.
Now, they do have the backup quarterback and Cooper Rush, but as we know, and we've been watching the Baltimore Ravens play this year, it has not been what we thought we would see so far, especially on paper. Like, going into the season, they've had a really, really good wide receiver room. The tight ends, of course, they've suffered some injuries there, but I think where we really have to have a conversation is the defense. And I think what kind of led to some of these injuries, especially maybe on the offensive side as well, is that the defense isn't holding up the way they would have expected.
Right.
This is kind of taking a deja vu moment to kind of what the Bengals were kind of experiencing last year, where they had the blazing offense that they could put up 40 something points, but the defense is allowing 50 points from the opposite team. So it's kind of forcing the team to do a little bit more than they really would have to. So that's kind of upsetting on my end because I want to see Lamar Jackson succeed a lot.
Yeah.
So, granted, this isn't the end, and this is just suspecting that he will miss. We don't know what the team will decide to do in terms of maybe pushing him forward because their game schedule kind of lightens up a little bit
A
where
little
they should
bit.
be able to get a good amount of wins under their belt, hopefully. So, I don't know if that'll be a motivation factor towards the team or even Lamar Jackson to say, like, let's get it done. Like, suck it up and we'll just do what we got to do. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of see where that goes. I'm upset that he's injured.
Yeah.
Knowing Lamar and the competitor that he is, I feel like
He's gonna jump back.
yeah,
Yeah. He's gonna jump back. And I think I think for them, I just really hope that it doesn't crush the spirits of, the Ravens offense and defense or the team itself, because they put so much on Lamar. And I think that
Do.
for, him being out, it's like, I hope it's just not a soul crusher, but I think it's something that sparks
Yeah.
them a little bit, especially on the defensive side. Like you said, it just sparks them to be like, all right, we got to do this for our QB. Like, we got to go out here and we got to show them, like, he's not the all be all, but in the sense, it's like, we need him.
Yeah.
So,
They forced him in a role to be Superman every game, and when he's
right,
not, it shows.
right.
And that's not a way to carry a football team, at
Mm-hmm.
least to win. Because it's human nature
All
to not have a
aspects.
great game. You said what?
I said it's all aspects of the game. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. So yeah, so I think that part of it is kind of like where hopefully they're allowing to take this time to get other people to step up, because it's going to require his wide receivers to step up, his tight ends, the defense of all things to step up. Now, granted, like we said, they do have some injuries on the defensive side of the ball, but they also have a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball where they should not be allowing this many points and
For sure.
allowing Lamar to have to feel like he has to go out there and be Superman. So now, granted, the game he played before getting injured against the Chiefs, he didn't have a good game. He caused some
No.
fumbles, which is very unlike Lamar. He also threw an interception, which is very unlike Lamar. So you can kind of see the pressure a little bit weighing on him there. So that's just something for us to kind of pay attention to and just kind of look out for.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we want to wish Lamar a speedy recovery because, listen, Ravens Nation, they need y'all out there. They need you out there. And,
You
we'll
have
be watching
spoiled
from
us,
the
Lamar.
sideline.
Please.
Well, we're going to jump into a spicy segment, and this is something that we call hot takes. Now, this is where the conversation gets hot and heated, from bold predictions to strong opinions and debates that might ruffle a few feathers. But hey, nothing's off limits for us, okay? So today, my hot take is I believe that the Chief Dynasty is over. I mean, can we talk about it? Really? I mean,
Can we
from
talk about it?
starting,
Like,
say that
like,
again.
can we? Can we talk about it? Can we?
Can we talk about it? Like, I feel like nobody else wants to talk about it because everybody wants to believe that, Patty Mahomes, he still got the same fire that he does. And I mean, he does. But I just think that I believe they're at a high standard. And when they don't meet those standards, I feel like people are just like, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. But I mean, it's a game. Like, it's a game of football. Every day you're not going to be on. Every
Yeah.
game you're not going to be winning. But I mean, for them to be, well, they started off 0-3.
0-2. They lost
0-2.
to the Chargers at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like for them starting off anything in the first season, I
Yeah.
mean in the first game is honestly like unlike them. So
Mhm.
I just think that they got some real digging and soul searching to do.
Yeah.
And Andy Reid, we need him to read the next play because I need them to get on it because
I
it's
think that
unlike them.
I believe that, for one, a dynasty can't last forever. I feel like we've
Mhm.
seen that, not even just we could even talk about the football with the New England Patriots era. We could take it back to when Pittsburgh was winning and winning and winning, even the 49ers or even Dallas, for a sake. The dynasty won't last forever. And I'm not saying that it's completely over, but I think that they're going to really have to take a look at their talent, because Travis Kelce is not what Travis Kelce used to be. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, but the game is starting to kind of evolve a little bit. Now, from the game that we saw this past weekend where they played the Ravens, we saw a few of their others, when their number was called, they were ready to step up. And
Yeah,
I think that's a really good thing for the Chiefs, something to kind of lean their heads on a little bit with that. So I don't know if I'm going to sit and say that it's completely over, but I think the gap between them and the other teams has definitely
it's
closed a
definitely
little.
wider.
So
Yeah, for sure.
so yeah, it's gonna get spicy, and I think people said when they beat the Ravens this past weekend, that's not something that you should hang your hat on, simply because,
Mhm.
one, our quarterback was down, I believe, this whole second half of the game. On top of the fact that our defense was just MIA as a whole. So I think people right now are salivating to play against the Ravens defense
The
right
Ra-
now. Maybe not Lamar for obvious reasons, but the
Mhm.
defense, people want y'all. There's no more fear there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And honestly, just going back to talking about the Chiefs, I just believe that, they, like you said, that they're not playing how they used to play, and the
Mhm.
dynasty doesn't last forever. But I do believe that soul searching needs to be found. I think that they need to obviously figure out what they're gonna do with Travis. I mean, Travis is not
Hall of
catching
Fame, first ballot.
passes.
Yeah.
It's just he's all over the place, and
Hmm.
I ain't gonna bring up Taylor Swift, but. I do think that she might be an influence. Everybody waiting to see if Taylor going to pop up in the
In the
stands.
stands, yeah.
But it's not even about her. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's also. And honestly, I think that that also might be weighing on him is the fact that there's another public figure and they're,
Mhm.
together, and it's his mind might be all over the place. It may not be on football.
Yeah.
He just got married. He probably
Engaged. Well, they announced an engagement. They could be married for all we know, but yeah.
listen, whatever the case may be, his mind is not on the field. And I believe that that's probably just another factor of the piece of the Chiefs just not being able to show up and show out when they need to be because
Yeah.
their heads are just not in it.
I agree. I think, like you said, not to kind of be a little bit redundant, the dynasty can't last forever.
Right.
And there are other teams now that showing that they want it just as bad, if not more. I think it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be
So
interesting.
yeah, we're going to turn into my hot take. Now, after that game, I don't even know if this is a hot take anymore, but whatever. I think we are currently watching the best WNBA player to ever play the game of basketball in Asia Wilson. Notice I said that without any hesitation.
Hesitation.
Okay. My girl, we got a 4-time MVP, 2-time WNBA champion and finals MVP, 3-time WNBA defensive player of the year. And that's just what she's done to be player of the year. She's been on several first teams, all defense, obviously first team, all WNBA. She obviously has a few Olympic gold medals for Team USA. And we all know the things that Asia Wilson did while she was at South Carolina. And to think that she is just entering her prime, I think we're in for a show. I really, really do. And I feel like after watching her for years and years, we've been able to see her constantly unlock a part of her game that wasn't there the year prior to, which is constantly making her more and more unstoppable. And that's not to say that the greats that came before Asia Wilson, I just think they paved the way for Asia to be who Asia is right now. And shout out to her team behind her because not only is she killing it on the court, she's killing it off the court as well. But the things that we're watching that she's able to do on the court right now is something that I don't think we've seen in a while. Now, granted, we could make the argument about Candace Parker, who won Rookie of the Year and MVP all in the same season. But at the same time, right now, the league is just so competitive. Like, it's so competitive. These girls are here to play. These girls are really, really here to play. And to see Asia Wilson being able to average these numbers that she's been averaging all year with the competitiveness of the league now, I think we're watching the best to ever do it. I think. And I don't know how much longer will there ever even be a debate. But right now, I think we're seeing the best to ever do it.
I can't argue with that because I love Asia. But in the
Yeah.
sense, I'm like, and I know that you paid, like past players, they
Mhm.
paved the way for her to do what she got to do. But I'm thinking, do we think that this is like a LeBron and a Michael Jordan situation? Because
Mhm.
I feel like the younger generation sees Asia Wilson. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But the younger generation didn't see the Maya Moores. They
I
didn't
agree.
see the Candace Parkers. They didn't really see the Lisa Leslies and the
Mhm.
the Sue Birds. So it's like now when they were in their prime, I mean, they were unstoppable. And
Correct.
I think that right now Asia's in her prime and she has more
Yeah.
to go. She has more to give,
Mhm.
as a younger player. And yes, she's dominating the field, but it's like, can we really say that we're seeing the
Yeah.
best player to ever play women's basketball?
I think it's a hard concept to think about, because like you said, you mentioned the Michael Jordan and the LeBron thing. I think people have a hard time thinking like there's somebody out there better than Michael Jordan or in competition with, I guess is a better way to say it. So yeah, I think right now that's why it's a hot take, is it's hard to digest. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we really watching someone that the best to ever do it? Like, no. We can't. There's no way. We've already seen the best to ever do it.
Right.
Whether your choice is whether it's a Candace Parker or a Maya Moore, like you said, whether it's a Lisa Leslie, a Cheryl Swoops, so on and so
Mm-hmm.
forth, a Diana Taurasi, whoever you decide is your GOAT, I think that's what's hard for people to digest as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think Asia has so much more in the tank, which is the crazy part because, like you said, she's in her prime right now, but I think she has a long way to go now.
Yeah.
And the good thing with her is she's a part of an organization in the Las Vegas Aces that have done a really good job of putting pieces around her. Now, granted, they've given her the leeway to kind of be Asia, which I don't know if Asia would have went somewhere else that would have allowed that. But Asia also has been a part of this team where she has seen it from the ground up. She
Yeah.
be seeing it from when they wasn't winning a thing, and
Mm-hmm.
now they're competing for a championship. So, or they've competed for several championships and are about to compete for another one. So yeah, I don't know. But all right, if you've got a
Great
hot
hot
take,
take. Great
send
hot
it
take.
our way. If you have a hot take, send it our way. You might just hear it in our debate in the next episode.
Yeah. So comment, please.
Leave a
All
hot take.
right. All right, so we're going to jump into our next segment where we make our predictions. Now, this is where we look ahead and put our takes to the test, from the overs and the unders stats to the breakout players to MVP races, maybe a little Super Bowl picks, into our championship forecast. Now, we're going to break down the numbers, the trends, who's surprising, and who's coming up next. So let's get right into it. My prediction is for the over and under, and I think that Jackson Dart, since he's been so much of a conversation with the Giants and for them getting their first win, to, pushing out Russ. And I just think that I don't think I'm going to take the under 4,000 yards this season. Just looking back from the first game, he was making a lot of short passes. And I guess that was just, to help him, figure out who he wanted to pass to, who he was comfortable with, just get him comfortable with the game. But for right now, I just don't see it because I don't see the Giants going far anyway. And I know it's only week 5, or we're going into week 5. I just don't really see Mr. Dart doing the things that they think that he's going to do. And so I got him going under 4,000 passes, 4,000 passing yards this season.
If I could have this man go under 4,000, I would. 4,000 yards?
Yeah.
First off, I just want to know who he's throwing the ball to. Because his number one target in Malik Neighbors, unfortunately, has gotten injured. And before we even get to that conversation, he had a great game. I'm not going to take that away from him. Mm-hmm. But are they going to allow him to make mistakes? Because that's gonna happen. Or are they going to test their other quarterback, their veteran quarterback in Jameis Winston that's there? Mm-hmm. So 4,000 is a reach. I just think that's a reach. Just simply because I feel like, one, he had a good game, so I think the hype is there right now, and I think he needs that. His confidence is there. Yeah. He's able to have those kind of leadership conversations, and then the team hopefully will rally around him a little bit. Mm-hmm. But who's to know with the New York Giants, if he does go out there and not have a great game, are they going to look down the bench and talk to Jameis and say, we need you? You know what I'm saying? Right. So at that point, we have an issue. Now, granted, for Jackson, he had the opportunity to sit behind Russ for about, you can kind of say three weeks, give or take, because I think they inserted him for a few short yardage situations in some games. But he had the opportunity to sit behind a veteran quarterback in Russell Wilson. Now, granted, Russell didn't have that great of the first 3 games, which is why they inserted Jackson Dart. But at the same time, his wisdom for the game, his knowledge for the game has not changed. So I think that he was able to kind of sit behind a really good veteran of the game. So I think that's going to be where we kind of have to see if Jackson has listened a little bit to Russ, had taken a little bit of his wisdom from playing the game for so long, just to kind of see where we go from there. But if I could go under 4,000, I would, because I still need to see who we throwing this ball to.
Yeah, and it's honestly very sad to see Malik go out the way that he did. I think that he was playing great ball up until then. I mean, he was catching passes that you will see from an Odell Beck. You was just seeing like some crazy things from him, and it's just sad that he just has to go out right now, and it's really bad. Yeah. So what was it? It was an ACL?
I think it was confirmed an ACL.
Yeah, confirmed ACL. And that's a season ending. Like, you don't come back.
Now, healthcare science is constantly evolving. Of course, we will not see Malik Neighbors this year for the rest of the season. But I think, who was it? Stephon Diggs, who hurt his ACL, and he's playing. Mm-hmm. So was he Stephon, or was Trayvon? Trayvon was the year before, and I believe the year right after was Stephon. I believe. They both injured him. They both did. Uh-huh. It's just a matter of in what order. But Stephon, I believe, was doing cutting 4 or 5 months post-surgery. Mm-hmm. So who's to say that we won't see Malik Neighbors? We obviously won't see him until next year. Now, granted, what do you have these type of conversations if you're the Giants? Are you... Because we don't expect them to make it that far. Their division has gotten better. You got the Eagles that look like the Eagles.
You got the Cowboys.
You got the Commanders. Granted, Jaden Daniels was out, but he should be back starting again this week. And then the Cowboys, who have had some they've had some games, and you're like, okay now.
Hold on.
Right. Okay. Let's see what you're working with over there. So their division, they've gotten better. Mm-hmm. And I think that's not to say that the Giants haven't, but how much are you willing to rely on your rookie quarterback? And I think we're spoiled, y'all. We've been spoiled. We've been spoiled with the CJ Strouds. We've been spoiled
Mm-hmm.
with the Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
Like, that's not a typical rookie season. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
these rookies that are coming out this year, or even in the years that are to come, might not have these breakout seasons. And that's
Yeah.
okay. And I think Caleb Williams kind of showed us this a little bit, that what he did in college was great, but he's been in the NFL and has struggled a little bit, which is okay. And I mean, he's still young. The expectation for him is a little bit high because they took him as the number one pick. And they're
Yeah.
looking for him to do some really big things with this franchise. But at the same time, I think we're gonna have to give a little grace. 1,000 yards is not grace. That's just not grace. So yeah, I don't think it's looking, no.
It ain't looking good. Regardless, he's going under. So
For sure. For
he's
sure.
going under.
For sure. All right. For our next prediction, we are going to talk a little bit about some college football here. We are going to predict who will and who will not make the college football playoffs. And that has definitely been a new topic that has been very talked about, simply because we've moved from the 14 playoffs to the 12.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I'm gonna just kind of list them off really quick. We have Ohio State at 1, Oregon, Miami, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Penn State, Indiana, Texas, Alabama, Texas Tech, Georgia. Off rip, I don't have Texas making it. I just don't. I think Archie had a really good game the last game that they
Mm-hmm.
played, but they ain't seen them boys yet. They ain't seen Georgia yet. They ain't seen LSU yet. They haven't seen Alabama yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I don't think they're in there. So I think for they have Florida that's coming up this weekend. That should be a good confidence booster. Florida hasn't been what we thought they would be, but then they're gonna have to turn around and play Oklahoma. Yeah, that, I think that so far is gonna be what really tests, are they ready to make the college football playoffs. We have some teams that I think might sneak in there, y'all. They just might. It's gonna be hard to get 2 ACC teams into the top 12 right now because Miami's doing so well. But I would not blink at Georgia Tech right now. They
Yeah.
have, from watching them play, they just have a desire to win and doing whatever it takes right now.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, they play some really good games, some really close games. But at the same time, they just found ways to win. And when it comes down, especially to the college football playoffs, that's what it's going to take. So
Yeah.
if I could rattle off my prediction right now, this is obviously early, you guys, very, very early. I'm going to keep Ohio State at 1. I'm going to keep Oregon at 2. I'm going to move, I'm going to move Ole Miss ahead of Miami. I'm going to move Miami down to about 6. Penn State, they constantly get these weird top 10 vibes, and then they get there and don't do what they're supposed to do, because I don't understand how you lose your all white game. Like, that is like one of the biggest games in college football right now. Not even just right now. It's historically one of the
It's
biggest games in
historically
college football. And you lose at home in
at
overtime
home.
to Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, Oregon ain't nothing
Oregon
to
is
shake a
up
stick
there.
at.
Yeah.
They ain't nothing to shake a stick at, but come on
Uh-uh.
now. Come on. So I do not have them making the top 12. Texas Tech, there's going to have to be a Big 12 team in there, so it's probably, as of right now, so what I've seen, it's going to be them. Georgia, oof, that's another team that finds ways to win. I like their
Mm-hmm.
quarterback now more than I like Alabama's quarterback. They're both not wowing me, but if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Georgia's quarterback right now. And Indiana, I don't think they will unfortunately make it. I can't see them having 3 teams in the top 12 from the Big 10, although that conference is really killing it. But yeah, those are my predictions right now. I have Georgia Tech sneaking in, Penn State coming out, and Texas coming out as of right now. And LSU seems to be on a nosedive.
Yeah.
But we'll see. The quarterback to me was never he didn't wow me last year, so I didn't think he would
Mm-hmm.
wow me this year, and he's kind of in that same position. So yeah.
That's a hot take.
Yeah. I should
Because
have
you
had that
got
hot
some
text.
people. Yeah. I mean, that's a hot take. That's a great
Yeah.
prediction. That's honestly a great prediction. It's ruffling some feathers though, because you got them Nittany Lions. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna pull out. I feel like they're probably gonna
I think so.
sneak in. Like I feel like they're gonna make, like, if we speak in like track terms, I feel like they're in the bubble and they could possibly sneak in
Yeah. I think, yeah, they would get the last spot only
the
because their
last
one
spot.
loss is to the number 2 team. Granted.
Yeah.
But then when you look at it, they lost at home in the all white game. Like,
I mean,
come on,
but like you
y'all.
like you just said, they're playing the number 2 team, and Oregon is. We know what the Oregon Ducks do. We
Yeah.
know that they gonna win regardless. I mean,
Yeah.
they built different. And I mean, yeah, it's Penn State, but I mean, hey, you can't do nothing. I feel like even if they was at Oregon, they probably still was gonna lose.
So, okay, if we go about it, that's Oregon, that's now in the Big Ten. You got
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana. That's 4
There's
teams
4
that
teams in the big. Yeah,
I think that the deciding body is not going to allow 4 teams
4
in the
teams. Yeah,
top 12. Because if you do, because then you have other conferences that feel like they're just as competitive in terms of the SEC. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, you let this Big Ten let 4 in? You need to
Mm-hmm.
let our 4 in. Which right now would be Ole Miss. Then you got Texas A&M. You got Texas. That's Alabama. Georgia's on the bubble right now. And then you got LSU in that 13th spot. But also, Tennessee's creeping up there. And Vanderbilt's
Yeah.
undefeated.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's just it's going to be interesting to see because all of these teams have these factors in play that could ultimately put them into the playoffs. I mean,
Right.
we're speaking playoffs, and it's only what is this, week 6 for college football?
Yeah. Week 6.
And I mean, it's still practically early,
It's early. For
but
sure.
it's honestly up in the air for me.
For sure.
Like a Stephen A would say, it's fluid.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very fluid.
Delicious fluid.
Delicious fluid. So I honestly, like, I can't make a prediction, but I honestly do think that Penn State is going to sneak their way in.
Okay. Yeah. The only way I
Miami's
feel
going to
like,
fall. Miami's going to fall.
I
Miami's going
think
to fall.
so.
They're going to fall.
But they don't, to me, they're not playing anyone that can make.
Ultimately, what and I think that that's going to be a factor. Like, y'all didn't play anything. Like, your schedule is a skate. That's
Yeah,
cake work.
their hardest game is coming up from what I'm looking at the schedule, which is Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody else on this list is kind of like, now they will get in because if they win their conference, which is looking like they potentially
It
might,
will.
they'll get in off of that strength alone. That's an automatic bid. But
Yeah.
like you said, based on the strength of their schedule, they're not playing anyone. But you can make the argument like you can only play who's on your schedule, and
Right.
you can't be at
And
fault
if
for
they
other
make it
teams.
into the playoffs, they make it into the playoffs.
Now, when they get into the playoffs,
They're not going to go far.
yeah,
But
they might see one of them dogs. They might, depending on where they fall. Yeah, they might run into some real
and
noise.
I
Right.
got Tennessee jumping. I got Tennessee jumping at least 2 spots. Not even 2, because right now they're 15. I
Yeah.
got them sneaking up. I got them sneaking up 2 spots coming up. I say give me about week 8. Week 8, they're going to jump up. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
you got an argument there now because now it's like, as we just mentioned before, we had 5 teams in the top 10 from the Big
Mm-hmm.
Ten, and it'll be roughly around the same number for the SEC.
Yeah.
So yeah, but they got some. And then I mean, Notre Dame kind of nosedived late. They've only won 2 games, but all the games that they've lost have been by 4-point margins. It's always a team you don't close your eyes at. Now, granted, it's going to be very hard for them to kind of go from 21 somewhere into the top 12 unless they
Yeah.
beat somebody
Crazy.
by like a crazy margin. But
Yeah.
even then, it's like, how do you allow a team in the top 12 with 2 losses?
2 losses. Yeah.
So that's another conversation that the deciding body will have to figure out. So
It's
everybody's
just
not
going to
going to
be
be happy.
interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody's
yeah.
not going to be happy.
And that's the basis of the game. Like,
Yeah, you
not
can't please
everybody's going to be
everybody.
happy, and not everybody's going to get into the playoffs, but you
Yeah,
just got to play your butts off. How about that?
and let the chips fall where they fall.
Right. All right, y'all. Now, this is a segment that we like to call She Said What? Okay, well, this is just about the score. It's about the drama behind it, and we're talking messy trades to shocking call outs and to all the headlines that will have the fans saying, She said what? For our first She Said What, we are talking about Shador Sanders reportedly targeted by the Baltimore Ravens in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft. But he was like, nah, I don't want to come there. I'm not about to be behind Lamar Jackson. Like, I'm not going to get no PT. And we all know that Shador likes to be in the light. Shador likes to be the head honcho. He likes to be the one in the front center. So he don't want to be behind no Lamar Jackson. Like, you would never get play if we being real. But yeah, so that's just some gossip rumor tease that we want to talk about. And she said, what?
So I'm gonna give this from 2 perspectives. We're gonna talk
Oh,
as
God.
if Lamar did not just get injured. We're gonna talk if Lamar was playing.
If he was playing, right.
If in what world does anybody come into the league that was a projected first round pick, and we're not gonna dive into what happened and what didn't, and wants to go and back up a 2, potentially could have been a 3-time MVP in Lamar Jackson, who is entering his prime, like literally just stepped through the door of his prime. We already know who Lamar Jackson is. What does Shador get from sitting behind him? You know what I'm saying? We're not even going to talk about the style of play. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but we're just going to talk about it in the sense of, like, it would never be a situation where whatever Shador goes out there and does won't be good enough for the team to be like, we're going to bench Lamar Jackson and we're going to start Shador. That's just not going to happen. Like,
Right.
Shador could go out there and throw for 400 plus yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns. And they will probably still be like, we're still going to go with Lamar.
Exactly.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. And I'm not even arguing, and that's not even a knock to Shador or even anything, but you have to understand when it comes to this game of football, we have to go with what we know best. And also on the top of it, it's like, yes, a lot of fans would love to see Shador, but from a player's perspective, the man wants to play, as he should. Any competitor, any true competitor of this league wants to play. And he's not going to do a whole lot of that at the Baltimore Ravens. Now, we talked about that side of things to play. Now, the way the Ravens have structured their offense is not really what Shador does. Shador is a pass-first quarterback. Now, Lamar is a pass-first, but you
He
don't want to.
runs. He can use them legs.
You already know what they got with that. Now, granted, the Ravens do have Derrick Henry in the backfield, but with the way the Ravens are set up now is you got to stop Lamar and you got to stop Derrick Henry. You got to pick which one. And whichever one you decide not to pick,
you don't let them open.
And that's not Shador's game. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he would be put in a position where he would have to revamp his whole style of play just to try to fit into where he is. Now, granted, the Ravens have really, really good receivers in S.H.E Flowers. They got Bateman over there. They got D-Hop that's doing an amazing job this season, sort of kind of revitalizing his career, which some say he kind of was washed, but we're not even going to get into all that. But that's just not the way Shador plays the game of football. And nobody has ever sat on the bench and said they've learned so much today. That's just illogical. And I need us to stop thinking like that. I just genuinely do. Because I think people make the comparison like, well, you had Patrick Mahomes sit behind Alex Smith and so on and so forth. Well, Patrick Mahomes knew, as well as the Chiefs knew, that Patrick was the future. The Ravens do not think that Shador will be the future. Why? Because they're looking at their future in Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be looking for a quarterback to kind of be behind Lamar until 5-10 years. You know what I'm saying? And Shador right now is ready to play today. And and in my opinion, he can play today.
He can play,
And I don't think that's what the Ravens, that's just not a team where he would be able to play today. Now, granted, Lamar did just get injured. But even that, and Shador goes out there and plays this amazing game for the 2 or 3 weeks that Lamar is out.
He's going to be right back out when Lamar comes back in.
Exactly. So that does nothing. That does nothing.
And do you think that in a sense that maybe it was like let's draft Shador as like a PR thing? Because when Dion was there, I mean he brought out everybody. I mean we ain't never seen Colorado so packed a day in our lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, do we think that was probably an aspect? They didn't need that, but maybe they could have wanted some more PR boost with
I don't think they
Shador
needed it.
playing.
I don't think they needed it. They have arguably the best quarterback in the NFL right now in Lamar Jackson. Everybody's coming out to see what Lamar is going to do that day. Now, granted, we've had our conversations, obviously, earlier on in the episode talking about what the team looks like now with the defense and stuff like that. Take that out of it. Like, I'm coming to see Lamar Jackson. I'm coming to see Derrick Henry. I'm coming to see S.H.E Flowers. And that's no knock to Shador, but the Ravens don't really need that right now. And granted, the Ravens have had a history of drafting really, really well. They spot talent from a mile away, and they've done that from time and time again. We could talk about taking it back to the Ray Lewises and stuff like that, but still, I think that's just not a good fit for him. And I think what the Ravens were trying to do was just get him off the board because he deserved to go way sooner. They were kind of just doing it as a favor, but not necessarily doing it because of what they needed. So I don't think it was a sense of PR. They don't need the PR. I mean, PR is always good, but that's not a team that needed it. I can give you teams that needed it.
Hello.
But anyway, neither here nor there. So I don't think it was a situation of that. And I think the rumor of people saying he shouldn't have been, that's why he ended up where he did, or he shouldn't have done that. Like, he wanted to go where he felt like he had a better chance to play. And right now, y'all see it. It's the Cleveland Browns. Y'all see what Joe Flacco they're doing? Everybody got 2 eyes. Y'all see what that man doing. So I think it's only a matter of time before we get to a chance to see Shador. So yeah.
Now, because he's a great quarterback. He makes some accurate passes. When he's blocked well and his O-line is doing the job that they're supposed to be doing, Shador makes some great moves, and he finds a way to get the ball into the right person's hands, or he takes it into his own hands. So I do think that it's just a matter of time before we see him actually do what he can do. But right now, he's just on the sidelines, soaking up the energy,
and learning.
Yeah.
When his number is called, I'm pretty sure if we know anything about Deion Tom Sanders, he has prepared all of his children for what possibilities could look like. And if I could guess, he has told Shador time and time again, when they call on your number, you be more than ready. You don't just be ready. you be more than ready. And
Yeah, stay
you
ready so
don't
you
even
ain't got to get ready.
stay ready soon, got to get ready. So I think he'll be just fine. Now, granted, that's a whole nother conversation. There are some teams right now that could use Shedeur, but we're not even going to get into all of
We're going
that.
to get down.
When his number is called, he will be ready. And we will be right here watching, supporting him, cheering him on. So
Amen.
now we're going to get into some real she said what? She said
What she
what?
say? What she say?
In her exit interview, Nafisa Collier said that the WNBA has the best fans in the world, the best players in the world, but the worst leadership in the world. She also said that, girl, that tea was hot. She also said that at Unrivaled this past February, she sat across from the WNBA commissioner and Kathy Engelberg and asked her how did she plan to address the officiating issues in their league. And Kathy told her, well, only losers complain about the refs.
Oh.
Now, Kathy.
No way.
Kathy. Now, Kathy.
Man.
And I think kind of, it took me a while to kind of unpack this, you know, because we've always heard the rumors about the way that we felt the commissioner was running the WNBA, some of the things that she was allowing, some of the things that she wasn't willing to step up and do and change, and giving a lot of these athletes what they deserve. But I think that comment, right, and she also said a whole lot of other things. We just gonna leave it at that for right now. That just comes down to respect. And she, from that comment, that just shows she does not respect the players of the WNBA. Because now we can make a conversation that if she said that to one of her peers. Now, granted, you can't control what she says to somebody behind closed doors, to someone that she sees as her equal. But to say that to a player to their face is kind of like, you don't respect them at all. At all. And I think that's what it's coming down to now, is that your respect level for these athletes and for these players, and this is kind of what Nafisa was trying to say, is bare minimum. And she also mentioned in the interview where her care for the athletes is just not there. Her husband, who is running the other league for the W, which is the Unrivaled 3-on-3 league, which did amazing in its first year, was constantly reaching out to players, checking in on them, making sure they're okay. The ones that got injured, he went out of his way to check in on them, make sure they had everything they needed. And they're not getting that from the WNBA from when it came to Kathy. Nafisa mentioned in her interview how when she got injured, she heard from other players, other coaches, other leaders in the WNBA. The person that she didn't hear from was Kathy. Kathy sent one of her little worker bees to reach out to her and say that the physicality in the WNBA or the officiating is not an issue. It obviously is.
Right.
It obviously is. And Kathy, at one point, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to figure this out, because there ain't a lot of people in this league right now that want you there. I'm gonna just call a spade a spade.
It's been like that for a while.
There's not a lot of people in this league that want her there, and I can honestly see why. Like, and she even mentions how a lot of these athletes, especially that just came in, the Paige Beckers, the Caitlin Clarks, the Angel Reese, have brought so many eyes to the sport, but they're making bare minimum from their contracts. And she took it upon herself to take the light off of those athletes and put it back on her to say, well, they should be grateful for what I've offered. And grateful.
They should get on their knees. First of all, the thing is in that statement, Kathy said they should get on their knees and thank me for getting them the media sponsors that they have.
Right.
Knees, ma'am. Be so for real.
And thank you for what? What am I thanking you for?
I'm not getting paid what I'm supposed to be getting paid. You don't care about us.
You're allowing the refs to do whatever.
It's honestly just sad. It's honestly
and it's exhausting.
Just sad. Yeah, because, and like we've talked about in the previous sections or in the previous segments, Asia Wilson, MVP. Like, okay, yeah, you presented her with the trophy. That is not enough.
Yeah.
I need you to come to me, you know, just being more, not grateful, but just being more supportive and being there. Like, we know that you're the higher up, you're the commissioner. We get that. Like, most people don't really talk to their bosses like that.
Yeah.
But for it to be, it's very small. It's a small community. And so I feel like you should be more a part of that community. And on a sense of hearing out what your athletes are saying so that you can make a better change, so that when the Paige Beckers and the Aaliyah Bostons and the Caitlin Clarks and the, you know, all the rookies that are here now, and they go up, they're going to be more respectful to you, and they're going to understand that, hey, this is a league where I want to stay. This is somewhere where I want to be. Not more so just because I love playing basketball, but for the fact of I want to play basketball for someone who cares about me.
Right, exactly. And now with this Unrivaled league, I don't have to play in the WNBA. Because I have this league here that's paying me almost
twice as much.
Almost triple what the WNBA is paying me. And they're giving me stock in the company.
Yeah.
Not only am I making money, I'm able to have some type of assets within this company. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And that's what a lot of these athletes are looking for. Like that ball at one point is going to stop dribbling. That's just a part of the process. That's what
Mm-hmm.
happens. So I think it's just kind of exhausting to kind of see this from someone of this leadership. And I think a part of me feels, and I don't know how this would be taken, but that she's a little bit jealous of the way that the league has grown a little bit, which is weird because I feel like the league, Nafisa mentioned they have a lot of the Paige Beckers, they have the Caitlin Clarks, the Angel Reese that have brought so many eyes to the WNBA.
The
And
game.
it just seems like Kathy's just kind of like being their anchor right now. They're trying to move their way up, but you have this anchor in their commissioner that's just not allowing a lot of these things to happen or allowing them to get better revenue shares, allowing them to get like I think the media rights deal and stuff like that. They have a CBA that's coming up that's going to be so important, but I think we're on the verge of a lockout here for the WNBA.
Yeah.
And it's not like how it used to be where, okay, if I don't play, I'd have to go overseas. Have to. Now, you got Athletes Unlimited. I didn't even mention them. You have the Unrivaled League. Like,
It's getting. It's so sad to see that that the W is probably going to be no more.
no, it's going to be more. Because
It's
I
still going to
think,
be around. It's just it's going to be a lot of backlash. Like nobody wants to
yeah,
come into a league where there's negativity. Is what I
right.
meant to say.
We're not even going to get into the ownerships of some of these franchises.
Team. Yeah.
That's a whole other conversation. But just simply from the WNBA as a whole, it's like, I don't know, a part of me just feels like Kathy's like, she's this anchor and not allowing them to kind of move their way up.
Grow and yeah.
The W has taken so much backlash, not even from people that just don't even watch the league, that just say they need to lower the rim, they need to add dunking, they need to do all
Mhm.
of these different things. And the W players are like, no, what do I need that for? And they've shown you they
Right.
don't need that because it's just as competitive, it's just as entertaining. Quick story. I went to a WNBA game last year where the New York Liberty was playing the Aces.
Mhm.
And I was sitting way, it was a last minute ticket. I was sitting way up in the rafters. And I had the time of my life. That game was competitive. It was fun. The fans were interacting. Shout out to Ellie the Elephant. It was amazing. I had so much fun. I had so much fun. And that's the way that the league is kind of going. But we can't have these type of comments made by our own commissioner that can't back us.
Yeah.
And that just can't happen. It just can't. Sorry, that was a touchy subject on me, y'all, because I don't play about them girls. They deserve
See,
all their flowers.
they do. They really do. They really do. And I'm so glad that somebody was able to step out of themselves and to actually
Yeah,
speak up because
right. Shout out to Fee.
yeah, shout out to Fee because when it was brought up to Caitlin Clark, she didn't say nothing.
No comment.
No
So we're
comment.
gonna no comment on that. All right, that is a wrap on today's episode of S.H.E Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a like and comment below.
Until next time, stay sporty, stay fierce, and keep slaying the game your way.
Because when she talks,
The game listens.
all right. Bye for now.